Benin, you made mention of the fact last week that VAT was going to be increased. Now,
and was it increased? It was increased,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah. So you're not eating the humble pie
so
today, right?
Right.
Right. So does the substance in the 2023 budget hope for a turnaround in our economic crisis?
Look, my dear, what is the major challenge for everybody? Everybody in business, everybody taking care of their family, everybody trying to live. What are the major things that you take into consideration? For me, there are three things. Cost, revenue, and probably loans. If in your own private life, the cost of the things that you buy is high, you look at your revenue to see whether to be able to support it. And if you can't support it, you decide whether you're going for a loan or how you're going to substitute.
Right.
And if you go for a loan, you look at, so how much will I be able to get this loan and how much am I supposed to be paying? Is that not the same for government?
Right.
It's not the same for government. For every finance minister, the major basic things, revenue coming in, the cost of the projects you're putting out, and if you're going to take a loan, what kind of loan are you taking and how are you going to repay it? Are you saying and are you telling me that when the MPP came into power, 2017, all the grandiose projects that they're talking about, they didn't cost it? They didn't know how much it would cost? One district, one dam. One district, one factory. All the big projects that they talked about, including those, and if I can use the word, statutory projects that you cannot get away from. Hospitals, roads, schools, food, agriculture, transportation. You cannot get away from them. Did they cost it? This budget, 56.2 billion, 2023, is going into interest payments. 56.2 billion. 27.3 billion is for expenditure. Wouldn't it be good if it were the other way around?
Right.
So, when you were going for the loan, did you not assess it? Because in the end, who pays for it? Isn't it the Ghanaian people? And what is your responsibility as a government? Responsibility of a government as a government is to make the life of your people easy. Has this government made their life easy? When they were going for the loans, in fact, when the finance minister came, when this government came into power, what should have been the first thing they should have looked at? Especially coming off the NDC's term, and they were kicked out. And one of the reasons why they were kicked out was because they said they hadn't handled the economy well.
Right.
They said they've also gone for loans. They're using loans to pay loans. What kind of government is this? Then you come in and do the same thing? That should have been the first point of call. We will try our possible best not to take loans excessively. And Ghanaians, listen, how we came in, you said the kitty was dry. It had left bone. So you should be able to tell Ghanaians that these are some of the projects that we want to do. However, if we get to a point where we see we are overburdening the economy, we will stop some of these projects. Costa Rica did it. Are you saying we can't do it? Are we saying because we want to please the people so that we can get into the next, we can win the next election? Hasn't that created some of the problems for us? Are you trying to tell me that if you tell Ghanaians where the economy is today, we cannot afford to do 1, 2, 3 projects, we would probably phase it out and probably, do it going forward? Did they? They didn't. And we were going on. We were taking these notes. I even think that when the finance minister came in, The first thing he should have looked at was the fact that every first quarter, we go for bonds to shore up the city. The true reflection of the economy is what we are getting today, with no loans, nothing. That is the true reflection of the economy. And if it's the true reflection of the economy, how are we going to get out of it? And these are some of the things that they put in the budget. But is it sustainable?
Right.
You can't continuously be taxing people. It is not possible, because the people themselves are going through the challenge. And if you keep taxing them, to get to a point where they can't even look after themselves. This is why some of us are calling, let's all sit around the table. Let's have a national dialogue on how we handle the crisis we find ourselves in. And who would you blame? Yes, definitely you blame a government. You blame a government in power, because they are the handlers of the economy. And if certain things are going wrong, why don't you look at it? Look, the pillars of this budget, debt sustainability, internal revenue mobilization, protection of poor, local capacity building, local streaming of the local capacity, export, implement public sector reforms. This, should it be new? Should these pillars be new? These pillars should have started 2017. This should have been the focus of government. Did they do it? Come on. You know, you're burdening the Ghanaian, and you're not finding a way to work with Ghanaians to make sure that we can handle this thing together. And you're talking about burden sharing, but that burden sharing, you're putting it on the Ghanaian. How can the Ghanaian be able to afford it? Food prices, transport prices, petrol prices, every day up and down, eating. And you think there's a different way that Ghanaians can make money. And see, I'll end here. The challenge with what we are going through is that we might not be able to control corruption, because water finds its way. If you block this room and this room has water, it will find its channel out, and people will find a way to make extra money. And one of the ways can be corruption.
Right. Philip,